Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. It's been a minute and we're gonna do a little get ready with me life update. Life update, reading update, game update, all the things updates. But first I'm gonna go in with the Essence Jelly Grip Primer. This one is like a dupe for, I would say a dupe for a dupe for a dupe because the one that I typically use is the e.l.f. one, and this one is a dupe for the e.l.f. one because it's even cheaper. This is only like a couple of dollars, but the e.l.f. one is a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip one. But the first book I want to talk about that was a 5-star that threw me off guard, not because I didn't think it was something I would like, but because I'd never heard of it before. And you know how like Goodreads does that at the bottom of the book, it has like a, if you enjoyed this book, read these kind of thing. Found it doing that, and I don't even remember what book it came from that like led me there. But it's called The Grief Keeper by Alex Villasante. And I'm obsessed with this book. I gave it a 5-star. It landed in my top 10 of the year, which guys, be prepared. I have so much end of the year content in mind that I want to do. You know, I love a stat. Don't worry, they'll be here. Basically, in summary, you are following sisters Marisol, and I forget the younger sister's name. My apologies. But you're following them as they are trying to leave El Salvador and go to the US. They are following the aligned process where they are trying to enter and seek asylum because they were in a dangerous gang-related situation and their children. And they have some issues with that, but they're kind of taken advantage of. So this has a lot of like, it's not really focused on the politics of it, but it is like a retrospective on current day events, which is interesting because this was actually, I think, published in 2019. So not too old, but I just love the writing in this book. I think it is absolutely fantastic. And the dynamic between the sisters is really, really good. But the kind of plot overall is that the older sister, Marisol, is the only way that they're able to like come into the US is they have them agree to do this experiment where Marisol is a like physical inhabitant of like someone else's grief. Particularly the way that it's positioned is that they're using it for soldiers that have been to war who have undergone horrible things and have PTSD. So the goal is that someone, Marisol in this particular instance, would wear a cuff that allows her to feel physically, emotionally the grief of someone else and kind of like take that away from them. The goal is not necessarily for that to be like permanent holder, but it's like supposed to remove it from the soldier with allow enough time for them to like heal. So yeah, if you know me, you know like grief and mental health is something that I like to read a lot about in books. It's one of the things that I find very interesting and I care a lot about. So this was really good. And then a lot of other stuff happens. It's technically a YA, but I think like it reads very adult just due to the subject matter as well. Oh, by the way, I'm doing the Rare Beauty liquid bronzer. Ew. So yeah, that one, recent 5-star that I wanted to talk about because I don't see anyone ever talk about it. It also really reminded me of the game Life is Strange 2, just because like quite literally it follows two brothers in very similar circumstances that undergo a traumatic event, and then it's actually kind of the opposite situation where they are leaving the US and going to Mexico, but both following like a Latinx families. So yeah, definitely recommend both of those. I actually haven't finished Life is Strange 2, but it is on my list. I will do it before the end of next year. And next, I'm just going in with a little bit of this Rare Beauty blush because it's pretty like intense. It's called Joy. And this is my e.l.f. Contour and blush brush that I really like. Okay, so another book I read recently is called The Treasure Hunters Club, and I actually got to be a part of the live discussion and book club with Books and Lala, which was so much fun. And the other co-hosts that were with us, they were amazing, and it was such a fun experience to get to be on her channel. I've followed her for so many years, and the discussion was really good. While like it wasn't my favorite book, I think that the journey of like doing it with a book club and like having that experience was really cool. And I would recommend it. Like it's essentially you're following I wish there was a couple things that were done different, but essentially you're following a different perspectives of these young adults in this town that's very like picturesque, like town, very like quirky characters. And they're researching this treasure hunters club from the past, and some of the members are still alive, but they kind of slowly start getting like picked off, and you're uncovering different like layers of the history of finding the treasure, how the kids found it back in the day, where is it now, lots of things like that. And it reminded me of Tiny Bookshop, which is another game that I played this year that I really liked. I'm gonna go in with the Alamar Cosmetics Tried and True blush palette. I think I'm gonna go in with this middle shade very lightly. Again, a little bright. And then this is the Alamar brush set. So that one was good. Let's see. Ooh, I haven't really talked about this one, and it was one of my most anticipated reads of the year. But I read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. This one I have mixed feelings about, and I've kind of heard the same from some people that have read this one. But it's by V.E. Schwab, and I'm still like fairly new to V.E. Schwab's books. But it's following a vampire, and you're going through like, you have kind of three main perspectives in three different periods of time. So like 1532, Santo Domingo, 1827 London, 2019 Boston. So it's like three. And I like the kind of like different perspectives, different timelines, all that kind of thing. This one, I just think I had a hard time with some of the pacing, and I still really loved it. Like, I gave it a 4-star. By the way, I'm going in with the Fenty bronzer in the shade Private Island. And yeah, I just had a couple of complaints about the pacing. I feel like the beginning was really strong. The ending was really strong, but the middle was kind of middly, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. But I still would recommend it. Like, Victoria Schwab and V.E. Schwab, like, her writing is so incredible, and you cannot deny that. Like, the prose is really good. It definitely has a bit of the kind of like feminine rage I was looking for, and like the slow descent into madness intersect of all of these women's like life. It definitely has a like genre bending feel about it. Like, it's historical while also being fantasy, while also being kind of contemporary subject matter, which is kind of fun. Other things I'm watching, because those are kind of a couple of the books I wanted to touch on. There's a lot more that I've read since the last time we talked, but we'll touch on it in our wrap up. Me and my husband are obsessed with Below Deck, which is a reality show following a yacht crew. And I just think it's fascinating to see the lives that people live and the luxury and things like that. And of course, I love a reality TV drama every now and then. Sue me, I know. I'm gonna go in with the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I love this highlight. It's very affordable, and it's very like natural looking, so it's not like I'm going up to work and looking like a glazed donut. Not that there's anything wrong with that, if that's what you want. So yeah, we've been watching that. I am about to be in my Christmas movie era, okay? I love Christmas movies, and we just watched the Jonas Brothers Christmas movie. It was, of course, cheesy, but it was cute. Like, I liked it. I grew up with the Jonas Brothers. If you like that cheesy Christmas movie, then that's what you're gonna get, ultimately. But we also, I'm gonna take a minute to yap about one of my favorite movies of all time. We also just recently rewatched Inception. Of course, you know, Christopher Nolan, very legendary. I think this is my favorite movie of his, followed closely by The Prestige, which I also love, and Interstellar, which I also love. But this one's definitely my favorite, and me and my husband have never watched it together. And I haven't seen it since it came out in 2010. I'm gonna give myself a little spritz with the Morphe setting spray. Also, as you can see, we've already decorated for Christmas, so we're in the vibes. The vibes are there. I don't care that it's early. I can eat Thanksgiving with my Christmas tree up, and that's perfectly okay. You should choose joy. as well. And then I also started, based on my brother Coleman's recommendation, Dan to Dan, which is an anime. It is very weird, but I like it. And essentially it is following two high school students, and they're on like opposite ends of the paranormal spectrum. So like Momo is like super into ghosts and spirits, but Okuran is like more alien focused. And so they basically don't believe in the other person's like special interest or whatever, and they're trying to prove to each other that they're real. And I like it so far. The art is very like classic anime and like very colorful and fun. And I've only watched a couple of episodes, but I like it. It's fun. If you have any recommendations, I'm trying to get more into anime this next year. Some of my favorites are obviously, like, I think I've talked about on here, Attack on Titan's like my favorite thing ever. I love Attack on Titan. I typically tend to lean more into the like dark, gritty anime. I don't know what that says about me, but that's just what I tend to like. And then another one of my favorites is Tokyo Ghoul minus the weird season, which I forget which one it is. Is it 3 with the white hair? Kaneki, the weird situation. And then I also really like Demon Slayer. Even though I'm not quite finished with it, I need to pick it back up. I'm using my Essence mascara, which I will use till the day I die. Please put it on me in my casket. Thank you. So I'll end with what I'm currently reading, which is The Children of Red Peak by Craig DeLuey. Hunter gifted me this, and it's about these kids who underwent like a cult, really dangerous, bad situation, and now they are adults and trying to cope with that. And one of their friends has died that was a part of it, and it kind of reminds me of Yellow Jackets a little bit, and also Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. So I'm reading that, and then I'm also listening to and butter reading with my friend Josh, Tea Farm Guy here on YouTube, Buffalo Hunter Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Trying to give Stephen Graham Jones a try. I've read like one thing from him, The Night of the Mannequins, which I didn't love, but also it's kind of a weird one, and that's like a novella, I believe. But I'm really enjoying Buffalo Hunter Hunter so far. It's about Native American vampires, and I like the way it's written a lot. The audiobook is good. There's different narrators and things like that. All right, everyone, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.